I'm on day 18 of my Breathwork challenge, and we went live to share about how it's going. Right now, thank you all. Welcome back, everyone. We are following up on my Breathwork journey, my 21-day challenge. I am on day 18. And it's part of Dominique's masterclass, Breathwork masterclass. I finished the masterclass and now doing 20 days, 21 days, and having it all in my life. And yeah, so
How
Dominique,
are you?
you want to talk a little bit about it, or do you want me to go into it?
Yeah, maybe just a very short recap. So, the Breathwork Masterclass is an online course that brings people closer to themselves, who or helps people to regulate and brings people back to balance, to learning the power of their breath. And Ray already obviously comes from a very regulated place. She is already in the healing space, but she agreed to go on the Breathwork Masterclass journey and keep us on the loop. And yeah, lets us be part of the journey and the ups and also the downs that come with this.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm very excited to get to know. So day 18, how are you?
So day 18, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I feel like most of my challenges started in the beginning of just trying to get the flow of this being a consistent practice in my life. And I know in our last live we talked about how just by telling my brain it's only 6 minutes a day, that was helpful. I think what also was helpful for me was setting alarms. So it's 3 times a day to check in. So I set alarms to be able to not just plan for it, but like if I forget about it, then there's something that goes off that says, take a break, take a pause. And I found that that was really helpful for the times when I was on my, I guess I was just in the day. You get stuck in the day, not really present, and it was really nice, especially the midday one. So my favorite is the morning because it just gets me going, and I'm a slow morning person, but it actually gets me out of bed and gets me going. But the midday check-in, that's beautiful. And then the one at night, I have no troubles falling asleep, but it's still just a really beautiful way. So I'm enjoying this process. I could see how beyond these 20 days, 21 days, I'm just going to continue this. I already have a very massive routine for my morning routine. My day, I have so many routines, and I think that this just is going to get put into the normal routine. In fact, I didn't even know what day I was on until we decided to go on live, and I was like, I wonder what day I'm on, because I've just been kind of in it and taking it as it comes. So, yeah.
Do you feel a difference right after the practice? Is there anything that's not noticeable for you right afterwards, or how do you feel that it's working?
Yes. I mean, that's an obvious. Yes, right after. It's almost like a switch, just like a switch that goes off. Um, it's a shift in frequency. It's a shift in, and it's almost immediate. And that's what I think that's also why I love it, is because the breaths that you've chosen, they're very intentional. So it's almost like if you press this button, then this. And I like that. I like being able to say, okay, I want a little more calm, and I can press a button. So I think it works with my practical mind that just wants a reaction, because it's a very consistent response as well. So that's also what I like about this journey I'm on here with breath.
Thank you. That's so powerful. Do you work with the with the app? Do you track like every day with the quiz, or do you like, because
I
when we
well, so
started,
I you know, to your program, I didn't know that that was a thing because it was in the, I guess your old one, it didn't have the tracking. It was just the sheet. So I was just tracking myself. But no, I'm more just the alarms are my tracking. But I did revisit that when I knew we were getting on this live, and I could see how powerful that could be if I did that. So I might continue. I might start doing it and seeing how like there's a difference between actually tracking it too.
that's one challenge I found when I was witnessing others, that it's just very like keeping it a habit, like starting and then following through is a really big challenge for most people. Next to that, after a couple of days, so we have tracked this. So there are like days 7 and 8, 14 and 15, I believe,
Oh,
and 17 to 19, which are like people struggle the most with then. So they're like over and done. They want to like, they feel like they want to quit and walk away, because
yeah.
it's when it's, when you are building a new habit, then also like it requires time, it requires you to really, push through. And sometimes you just feel like you don't want to do it.
Hmm.
There is like a benefit from it, but you just want to like, following through is hard. And that's
It
why
is.
we have set up that quiz. So with the new platform, there's a quiz coming with like for every day, which really helps people to at the end of the day just track what they have done. And it just feels so good when you can tick. When you just know like, okay, done, done, done. Like it
Yeah.
motivates you like in a way where you can just feel that sense of achievement, like even if it's small.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah.
Yeah, I
Cool.
think that will be helpful, and I'm again glad we're having these conversations because it's just to push this a little bit further. Let's do it that way. Let me try it in that way. But I also, like I said, I have my routines already, and now just putting this in my routine, I kind of just think that I think it's in. I think it's in. I think it's already going to be something that I continue to do, especially because of the instant gratification. It's instant. Within that like 1 or 2 minutes, there's a result, and that regulation throughout the day then can be seen just in all of my work, just kind of having access to that steadiness and of my momentum. So yeah,
What would you say is the biggest win you're taking from this? Like, because you are already coming from a regulated state, like is there something like you can particularly feel, or like how?
yeah. I mean, my my share is terrible because anybody who knows me watching this knows that I'm working on control. But what it does gives me is control. It gives me a little bit of more control of knowing that if I do this, then this. So it's almost like a way out. I think the biggest win is if and when I'm ever having like moments of panic or moments of like seeing my thoughts go here and thoughts go there. I can control that. So that would be my win. But I think it's a coincidence just because I am working on trying not to be so controlling. Yet I'm talking about, ooh, but this gives me more control. So, but I know there's a balance there.
Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah.
This was also like, I get this. For me, it was a bit a different story. Like I like then still like bulimia came like back into the picture, and like with breathing, that was really like the control
Yeah.
of getting in another state, and regulating yourself
Yeah.
until you can like gain control over your like
Yeah.
nervous system, like over your like just reaction based, triggered based, behavior. So that's like where I can resonate in terms of the control and how you want to balance this. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other things too is a lot a lot's been coming up, and a lot does come up, and I, just even in that motion of like the breath is coming up. So, I'm someone who is always processing something, always like looking at the deeper meaning of everything, and I think that this challenge has helped me use the breath to process like easier, quicker, um, and it's allowed me to process some of the more deep things, the things that I might run away from, or the things that I might, not want to look at. It kind of gives me a tool to be able to go a little bit deeper. So I like that. I think that's another win.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there anything we haven't talked about but should have talked about in
Oh,
relation to
haven't we
to
talked
this?
about? Um, no, I mean I'm really grateful for this time. It's very intentional. I think it's really great to do around the holidays. I personally, and I'm sure a lot of people could relate, get holiday stress, expectations, what I'm supposed to do, and I think the timing of this, of just taking on this very intentional, challenge, has slowed me down a bit. I haven't even put up my tree, and I'm okay, but I think that would have like stressed me out before. There's things like that where I'm noticing I'm already a pretty regulated, calm, chill person. This is like another level for me. So I think that's another addition to what's going on here in this program. Yeah,
That's so beautiful. Thank you
yeah,
for sharing. Um, yes. So I think we will also like have a recap when you are done, just to see
yeah,
if Ray's still alive after 21 days of breathwork challenge and how, you're doing. And maybe it's even good to have this maybe a couple of days after the 21 days to see, if you were able to follow through after the 21 days, and
yeah,
how, if there is like more tools that could support you on your way.
yeah,
There is that template for after 21 days where this reflection template where you can just keep this in a loop and you can track your own progress, and it's kind of like stacking itself, so you can
yeah,
just print the same one over and over again until you feel like, okay, now it's time for me to not needing to track it anymore. But I mean, seeing where you stand and how it's like the journey ended for you, and what you took from it, and if it had any
mhm,
like sustainable like effect, will be very interesting to know, because you can easily do a course and then you learn a thing or two
yeah,
and then you're off, and then you're off. So like seeing how this has a place in your life, or where the obstacles like are, is very interesting
yeah.
to
Well,
know.
now that I see, I've gone through the program. I'm pretty much done with the 21-day challenge, or really close here. Um, I could see how like just keeping it as the challenge is a good way to live. But how would you say that you incorporate breathwork into your daily life, especially with all your knowledge and all the things that you have been practicing?
Also, I'm not cured from not falling off the track once in a while. Like life is, and I think that's also the beauty of it. Like this is life, and it's not, you cannot map it all out. Like happily, there are like things that come in that disrupt the natural flow in positive or negative. Like this is a part of life. The important thing is to get back to it and get back on track. And what I do, for example, my mornings are holy. Like I get up at 4:30, and the first thing I do is I do my breathwork, I do my gratitude, I do like all the things that I do not want to potentially fall off the wagon and potentially not follow through with are the things I just do first. And 4:30, nobody's awake. Like at least not in my time zone. We are like when
I
we
know
chat.
you and I
I
are
mean,
talking all the time at that point. Your 4:30
but
time.
but the rest is asleep. So I get like the house is entirely silent, and I can just really flow into my morning, and it gives me so much energy. So the mornings I always do. Um, I as well don't have trouble with falling asleep. So when my head hits the pillow, I'm in like my dreamland anyways. So I don't do this very often. The balancing one I do quite intentionally. I do it with my daughter because she has a very strong character. So we always have a lot of also these healthy discussions. And sometimes we really just need to calm down. So we would really like practice this together. And she already like when she's off, she just comes and she's like, "Mom, breathe with me," and she would like give me her
Mhm.
hands, and then we breathe together. So because it's also like I made it a part of hers, so it's a part of ours, and now it's a lot easier to move through. And I think it's so beautiful to watch her, having access to this. And then
Yeah.
she reminds me as well. Sometimes I also need a small reminder, and then
Yeah.
she mirrors that, and I think that's just so beautiful because it keeps me on track.
Yeah. I love that about my daughter. I love that all the things that I've learned I keep teaching her, and then she just shines that mirror right back on me whenever I need it. So it's really beautiful to watch because we know that it's in them. We've delivered. We've
Mm.
delivered and done our thing. So okay, well, it's sounding like I'm going to continue my journey, and most likely, I like I said, I can already tell I'm just going to continue this into my life. Um, but we can check in at some point again and see how it's going. But I appreciate it. I appreciate being able to do this challenge. I appreciate the reflection, being able to see how it's been showing up, and the accountability, knowing I have these calls, knowing that I know you're watching me and you're checking, that it makes it even easier to go deeper into the practice by having such a supportive community. So I thank you.
And thank you. Thank you
Yeah.
also for our time tonight, today,
Yeah.
and for, making space for this. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. And thank you all for being here. So many people showed up. So really beautiful. Thank you all for the community support. And we will see you guys all soon.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Thank you.